Hello and welcome to this yoga stretch class. The focus of this class will be on stretching through the hips, especially through the front of the hips, to open up the psoas muscle and to relieve any tension from basically just sitting down for too many hours in the day. The hips can get really, really tight, so I would recommend that you practice this class every day over a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks if you can, to really get a noticeable improvement in your hip flexibility. So all you need for today's class is a mat or something to lie on. You can throw a towel out on the ground, or I've got a foam mat which I like to use, and I put a sarong over the top of that. And I've also got 2 jars which may come in handy at a certain point when I need to rest my hands on them. There are things like yoga blocks you can get. I don't actually have yoga blocks and I'm a yoga teacher, but you may find you want something that you can use to hold as we do a couple of the balances later in the class today. So if you don't have those things already, please pause, go get them, and then come back and start when you have them. We're going to start on our back, so let's lie down on our mat, and we're just going to start with the knees bent. So your knees are together, the ankles are together, and we want to take the arms out to the sides with the hands in line with your shoulders. So make sure the hands aren't coming up above your head. So hands in line with the shoulders, and tuck your chin in a little. So as you tuck the chin in, the back of the neck is going to stretch, and we really want that lovely long neck. Helps to get blood flow into the brain, which is really important. So knees are squeezing. I want you to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, squeeze your knees over to the right. Now as you do that, the knees stay together and the feet stay together, so the feet are stacked. We breathe in up to the center, and then breathe out, take the knees to your left side now, pushing through the top hip, keeping the knees glued. Inhale, come up, and exhale, squeeze across. So we keep the knees glued together, helps switch on the belly, and the side can then stretch and open. Inhale, come up, exhale, squeeze across. So the sides of the body can get tight too from sitting down all day. The spine gets compressed, and the spine and the sides get compressed as well. Inhale, come up. Let's do 6 more of those a little faster. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then come up to the center. So we're going to keep the knees together. Now the arms go above the head. So stretch out through your fingertips. Chin is still tucking in, so the back of the neck is long. Keep the knees together. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your bottom off the floor. So squeezing into the back, you're going to feel that work in the back of the body. Inhale, come back to the floor. And again, exhale, lift the bottom. So as you lift the bottom, keep the knees squeezing strongly. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lift the bottom. Now stretch your arms away above your head. Hands are shoulder width apart. Inhale, come down. Let's do 1 more. And exhale, squeezing up, lifting, squeezing. And then come all the way down. Good. All right, so now I want you to flop your knees out wide. Bring the hands down. We actually want to interlace the hands behind the head. So feet are together, knees are soft, knees are wide. And we just want to breathe a couple of breaths here. So try and bring your mind down into your belly. Try and soften the shoulders. So we're going to slide our body to the right and then to the left. As we slide, we want to keep everything on the mat. So try not to lift and pull yourself around. I'll show you what it looks like. So we take a breath in, and exhale, slide the right elbow to your right knee. So we're squeezing the right and stretching the left. Breathe in, come to center. And exhale, slide to your left side. So we're trying to use the waist to pull ourselves around. Inhale to center. Exhale, sliding to the right. So the elbow is working to the knee. The left elbow, some people have this tendency to lift it up. So I want you to pull it back to the mat. And you're going to feel that stretch more through the left side. Inhale to center. And then exhale to the left side. Squeeze yourself around. Press that right elbow back strongly. Inhale to center. Exhale, sliding to the right again. Let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. So breathing in and out. Elbow squeezing to the knee on the right. Left elbow pressing back. As you do that, feel the left knee press down and away as well, so that whole left side is opening. And then breathe into the center. And exhale, pull yourself to the left side now. Just stay here for a breath or two. Pressing the right elbow back more. Extending the right knee down slightly so you feel a bigger stretch through the right side. And then breathe in, come back to the middle. And then bring the knees up. And let the legs go for a moment. So just have a little rest. Feel already starting to feel some warmth and energy in the lower body. All right, so let's pull the knees to the chest now. Holding onto them. Again, we want the chin to tuck in a little. Let the shoulders relax. Squeeze the knees in. Feel the tailbone stretch away. And let's keep hold of the right knee. Take the left leg back out to the floor. So with the left leg on the ground, push the heel away and pull the toes back so that leg is really active. I like to imagine that there's someone pulling my left ankle and my leg is getting stretched and lengthened as I do this. So squeezing the right knee in, we're breathing, softening the shoulders, relaxing the face, knee to the chest, left leg extending away on the floor. Good. All right, and let that go for a moment. Let that be. Let the legs soften. Breathe in and out. And then draw both knees in again. Just hold for a breath or two first. Then let's keep the left knee now. Take the right leg out straight. Squeeze the left knee towards you. Extend out through the right heel with the toes back. Can you imagine that someone's pulling your right ankle so that leg is getting longer? Nice deep breaths. Soften the shoulders. Relax the face. Beautiful. All right, and then let that leg go as well. Good. We just take a moment in between to feel a bit of softness coming through the body, feeling blood moving through the joints and into the muscles. All right, so let's bend the knees up now. I want you to take your feet wider than your bottom. Yeah, so just have a look and see where your hips are, and then see if you can take your feet outside the width of your hips. Now, you might be able to hold your ankles. If not, then just press your palms down into the floor. Okay, if you are holding the ankles, just make sure your heels aren't lifting off the ground. We want the heels to stay on the floor for now. So when we're going to move the feet anyway, but just bear in mind that if you have to lift your heels to hold the ankles, then I'd rather you just actually let go and just place your palms down. So chin is tucking in. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to drop our right knee in and down towards the left foot. So we're going to feel a stretch through the top of the right thigh. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, take your left knee in and down. So you might not get very far. Just see how far you can get the knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, knee goes down. Now it's really important that the left knee that's still pointing up stays pointing up. We don't want it to flop out to the side. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, take your left knee down, right knee pointing up, and we're going to get this stretch through the pelvis that we're after. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right knee squeezing down. If you can get it to the floor, then push it into the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee. Shin is tucking in still. Shoulders are rolling back gently. Inhale, lift up. Just two more. Exhale, right knee going down. Breathe in, lift it up. Exhale, left knee pressing down. Good, and then coming up. All right, so we're going to stay in this position. If you notice your feet may have turned outwards slightly, I want you to turn the big toes in so the feet are parallel and pointing directly forwards. Again, you can either hold the ankles if you can reach, or just keep your palms down into the floor. So this next one is really important that we keep the heels on the ground. So take a breath in and exhale, lift the bottom up now. So push down through the heels as you squeeze up to the ceiling. Inhale, bottom to the floor. Breathe out, lift the bottom up, squeeze down through the heels. Inhale to the floor. Let's try 8 more of those, a bit faster. So 1, inhale down, exhale, lift. 2, and 3, push down through the heels. 4, big breathing. 5, inhale down, exhale. 6, 2 to go, and 7, and 8, breathing out, squeeze up, push the heels down even more now. And then gently curl your bottom back to the floor. And we're just going to let the legs go again. And arms are beside you with the palms up. Just take a moment to catch your breath. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, let it go. Good. All right. So let's grab our knees again. Pull them into the chest. Soften the shoulders, relax the face. We're going to lift the head and then rock and roll a few times along the spine. Up and down. 1 more, and coming all the way up. All right, so we're on the knees. I'm just going to fix my hair up because it's getting in the way. That's it. So we're on the knees. Knees are together. And let's just place the hands on the back. So you want your hands with the palms pressing onto the back, fingers pointing towards the floor. Okay, so elbows squeeze back, shoulders squeeze back, knees are together. Take a breath in and exhale, press the hips forward. So we're stretching through the belly, stretching through the thighs. Inhale, come back, bottom to heels. And exhale, squeeze. Push with your hands on your back so your hips come in front of your knees. Inhale, come down. Exhale, squeezing forwards. Inhale, back. Let's try 1 more. And exhale, pressing the hips forward. And then come down. So for this next one, you can either keep the hands on the back, or if you can reach, we take the hands to the floor with the fingers pointing back and away. So some of us is quite tricky because already it's stretching through the front of the thighs quite strongly. So we just see if it's too strong, then hands on the back. All right, so take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to lift the bottom off the heels, roll the shoulders back. Inhale to the heels. Exhale, squeezing up, shoulders back, belly forwards. Inhale, come back, just 2 more. Exhale, lifting. Try to keep the chin tucked in a little bit. Try not to drop the head back. So we want to keep the back of the neck long. Inhale, come back. Let's do 1 more. Knees are together. And exhale, squeezing up, breathing out, everything. And then coming all the way back down. All right, so let's have a little rest in child's pose. So take the knees just slightly apart if you like, and head comes to the floor. Now if your head doesn't quite make it, make a little fist tower, 1 fist on top of the other, and your head can sit on that. If your head does come to the floor, then just bring your hands down by your feet. Take a couple of breaths here. Lovely. All right, and then slowly, gently curl up through your spine. And we come onto the hands and the knees. So hands under your shoulders, knees are slightly apart, about hip width. And let's just plug down through those arms nice and firmly. Yeah, so take a breath in here. And as you exhale, arch the back up, tuck the head under, squeeze the belly inwards. And then breathe in, we're going the other way. Looking up to the ceiling, squeezing through the back, lifting and lengthening the throat. And exhale, drawing up and in, head tucking under, press through those hands. Inhale, go the other way, lift and look up. Just one more, exhale, squeezing, lifting, push down through those hands. And then coming to neutral spine, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. So coming into a lunge, okay? And let's just come onto the fingertips, or you can stay on the palms. This is where my jars might come in handy, where I can actually push down into those jars and lift through the spine. So we don't want to sag the belly, we want to have some pressure in the belly there, so squeeze the belly in slightly. I'm just going to move my jars to the side and use my fingertips. So I'm trying to lengthen through the spine. I'm feeling the stretch through this back thigh. I can tuck the toes in if I like and sink forward into it. Breathing, looking forwards, or you can leave the toes untucked, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then we're going to bring the hands up onto the right thigh. And we just want to lift up through the spine there, feeling that stretch through this back thigh here. Couple of deep breaths. Try and relax the shoulders. We don't want to be squeezing the shoulders up to the ears. That's it, good. All right, so then we're going to bring the left hand, so I've got my right knee at the front, my left hand is coming to the mat in line with the left hip, and I'm going to tuck my toes in again, and I'm going to twist to the right side. So my right arm is going up to the ceiling, my body is twisting to the right. I can look slightly upwards if I want to, if my neck is okay, or I can just look to the right side. If you want to make this a little stronger, you can lift the back knee, push out through the heels, or the heel on the left foot. Squeeze the belly as you twist. If it's too strong, then bring the knee back to the floor. Push through that left hand into the ground. Couple of breaths. Squeeze the belly as you breathe out. Good, bring the knee down if it's still up. And we're going to bring the hands in front and just shuffle your right foot out to the side a little bit. So the right foot goes out a little bit wider. You can turn the foot slightly outwards. Okay, and I'm just going to bring my hands in the inside of the right foot. And if that's a strong enough stretch for you, you can stay there. If you want to go a little bit further into it, bring your elbows down to the floor and lengthen through the crown of the head. Keep the spine long, just holding and breathing. So it's a big stretch through that inner right thigh. If you want to go a little bit stronger, you can tuck the toes in and push out through the left leg. Keep the crown of the head stretching forwards. Keep the belly drawing in as you exhale. Couple of deep breaths, feeling that stretch, especially in that right hip joint, inner thigh. Good, all right, and then let's bring the knee down, walk the hands back in, walk that right foot back to in line with the hip, and then we're going to come up again, hands on the thigh, and let's see if we can take the arms up now. So arms stretching up, and then see if you can sink down more into the lunge. So feeling more of a stretch now through the left thigh and the left hip. If you want, you can look slightly upwards, take the arms slightly further back. Chest is opening as well. That right leg is strong. So make sure the knee stays above the heel on the right side. Good. All right, and then gently bring it back. Now this next bit is slightly advanced, so if your knee is an issue, then please just sit this one out. But if you want to, you can sweep the arms back, bend the left knee, grab onto the left foot, and pull the heel towards your bottom. So we're just really stretching through that left thigh and hip now. The chest is forwards, the spine is tall, the right leg is strong and holding us in place. The belly is squeezing as we breathe out. All right, and then we let that go. Good. All right, so we're going to come into a runner's lunge. So we're going to take that right foot forwards, bring the toes off the floor, and now we're going to stretch over the right leg. So again, we want the spine to lengthen. Again, this might be a good one to grab your props, and you can hold this way. Your flexibility, maybe we're not quite able to reach the floor either side, so you can use your props to help you. Okay, that's what they're there for. Or if you can reach, then reach with the hands or the fingertips. So we breathe in, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe sinking more towards the leg in front, the right leg. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sinking over. Let's do one more. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, sink down. Good. And then walk the hands back up. And we're going to slide the right leg back in. And we're just going to curl up into child's pose for a moment before we do the other side. So if you want, you can use your fist on the right buttock, give it a bit of a tap. And that just helps some more blood flow into the muscles. All right, and then slowly curling up. We're going to do that same sequence now with the left leg in front. So come onto the hands and knees. Let's take the left foot in front of us here. So just holding. Again, if you want to use your props, you can use them so that the spine is lifting. If you want, tuck the toes in, whatever feels comfortable. As long as you're feeling that stretch now through the front of the right thigh. We can have the fingertips on the floor if we like. Looking forwards, spine is long. Nice deep breaths. And then let's bring the hands to the thigh. And again, just sitting tall. Draw the belly in. Try and relax your shoulders. Just a couple of breaths here. Just feeling that continuous stretch through the right thigh and the hip. All right, and then let's bring the right hand to the floor in line with the left foot. And we're going to stretch the left arm to the ceiling. So again, you can just keep the head looking to the side, or if you want to look up. If you want to intensify it a bit more, you can tuck the toes in at the back and lift the back knee off the floor. So we're drawing the belly in as we twist. Fingertips are reaching. The right hand is pushing down into the floor. Push out through the back heel if the knee is off the ground. Breathing in and out. Good. All right, so let's bring that hand on the inside of the left foot. Shuffle the left foot out slightly. You can turn the toe away if you need to. And we're coming into our lizard pose. So you might find that you can have the hands on the floor, and that's good. If that's quite strong, you can stay there. If you want to go a little bit further, you can bring your elbows down and stretch forwards. So keeping the spine long. If you want to make it a little bit stronger, tuck the toes in and extend out through the right heel with the knee coming off the floor. If it's too strong, then bring the knee back down. Just listen to your body. Yeah, it's going to scream in agony if you're going a little bit too far. You don't want to overstretch, because that just is going to be problematic for you. So nice deep breaths. Squeeze the belly in, always engaging through the belly. Good. All right, then bring that down, coming all the way back up. Walk that foot back in. All right, we're in our lunge and we're going to just put the hands on the thigh again. Lovely stuff. And then let's sweep the arms up and let's see if we can sink down into that lunge a little bit more. Chest is open, fingertips reaching. Maybe looking slightly up if you like, fingertips to the sky. Feeling that stretch now more through the right hip and the thigh. Good, and then just bringing the hands back. This one again, if the knee is a problem, please sit this one out. But we come up and we just see if we can swing the arms back, bend the right knee, grab that foot and pull the heel towards your bottom. Lift tall through your spine. Left foot is strong, holding you in place. Crown of the head to the sky. Couple of deep breaths here. And then gently letting that go. We're going to come into our runner's lunge here. So this is again where you might want your props. So the left heel is on the mat, the toes are pulling back. We're going to feel that through the back of the left leg in the hamstring. Okay, so if you've got very tight hamstrings, then please use some props to hold you in place. If you have a bit more flexibility, then maybe your fingertips are on the floor. We can breathe in and exhale, lengthen the spine forwards. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, draw the belly closer. Breathe in, lengthen. And exhale, sink. Keep the toes pulling back towards you. Nice deep breaths. Good, and then bring that foot back and we just curl up into child's pose again. So curling up, let that be. Bottom dropping to the heels. Couple of deep breaths. And then curl up gently through the spine. Lovely. All right, so let's come on to the hands and knees. I'm just going to put my props to the side. All right, so we're going to go up into a down dog. Now, when we go into down dog, we're going to start with the toes tucking into the floor, the feet about hip width apart, and in tabletop, we have the hands under the shoulders. For down dog, we want to just take the hands one handprint in front of that. So slightly wider from between the hands and the knees. So we'll tuck the toes in, take a breath in, and exhale, take your bottom up to the ceiling. Now keep your knees bent to start with. Plug down through your arms. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, push your right heel towards the floor. Keep the left knee bent. And then breathe in, bend that knee. Exhale, push the left heel down to the floor. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, right heel. Keep the arms strong. Push through the heel. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, left knee. Draw the belly up and in. Two more. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, extend. Right heel to the ground. Inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, left heel. Pressing to the floor. Breathe in, bend the knee. Let's see if we can push both heels now towards the floor. Let's stay for a couple of breaths. Eyes looking back between the legs.
Arms are nice and long. Draw the belly in strongly. Good, all right. And then walk the hands in towards the feet a little bit. And let's just hang. So let's interlace the arms. I'm going to turn and face this way so you can see. So arms, I'm just holding my elbows. My knees are slightly bent and my head is hanging. And my belly is just resting on the thighs. The knees are slightly bent. Have a look. So knees slightly bent, head is all heavy, hanging there. Feet about hip width wide. And if you want, you can start to lengthen the tailbone to the sky. The legs might start to extend. If you do straighten your legs, then draw the knees up towards the thighs. Draw the belly in, head towards the floor, arms are just hanging. I can swing left and right, side to side with the arms. Good. Alright. And then let's slowly, gently curl all the way up. And we're going to step the feet out wide, so wider than the hips. And we're going to drop the hands towards the floor. Again, if you need a prop, use your jars, whatever you've got, so you can lengthen through the spine. That's it. So feet are wide and parallel, so don't turn the toes out. Have the feet parallel, pointing forwards. Good. So just holding and breathing here. Press the tailbone away. Squeeze the knees up into the thighs. Crown of the head shooting forwards. You might find you can get the fingers to the floor, the hands to the floor. Couple more breaths here. Press out through the tailbone. Good. All right. So we're just going to do a little bit of a side lunge. So take a breath in and exhale. Just drop to the right side or the left side, whichever side. Just drop down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop to the other side. So the knee bends, the hips come down. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, dropping over. Let's try and keep the heel on the floor. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Two more. Inhale, center. Exhale, dropping down. Breathe in, up. Exhale, drop to the other side. And then come to center. Now let's just shuffle the feet in a little. So we want the feet about shoulder width. And again, you might want your props, maybe. And we're just going to see if we can drop the hips towards the heels. And I'm going to use my hands on the floor. And I'm just going to swivel my hips side to side. So as I swivel, the knee comes to the floor. Just opening up through those hips a little bit more. Bit of movement now. That's it, good. And then we can see if we can actually do a squat with the feet flat on the floor. Now, the heels might not touch the floor, and you can use a towel maybe and just stick it under your heels. I've got a mat here, which I can use to demonstrate how you might do that. So you just stick the mat near the heels, and you can rest your heels on the mat or the towel. We want the hips or the bottom to drop towards the floor. And this is fairly comfortable for me. You might want to hold on to something again if you need to. One day we want to maybe get the heels to the floor, but I can even sit my bottom on the edge of this mat that I've got rolled up as well. So we can just hold and breathe a few breaths. So if it's really uncomfortable, you can just sort of rest on the hands and try to drop the hips down. Or you could even use one of your things that you've got and actually sit on that and use that as a prop to sit on. Okay, that's actually fairly good doing that. So whatever's comfortable for you. It's just a bit of a play really, just to see. We want to be able to sit and sink down into those hips.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to let that go. Take away the mat that I've got there. And we're going to come on to the bottom with the knees wide and the soles of the feet together. So let's sit here for a moment. Interlace your fingers and hook them under the little toe side of your foot. Hopefully you can reach. Okay, if not, just hold on to the ankles. Okay, so we're lifting up through the spine again. Roll the shoulders down the back. See if you can press your knees down to the floor. And as you do that, you squeeze into the bottom quite strongly. So we're holding and breathing, lifting up nice and tall. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, maybe pulling yourself forward. So the belly coming forwards. Just breathe in there. And exhale, maybe coming a little bit more forward. So whatever you can manage, even if you can't come very far forwards, just see how you go. But don't curl and tuck the chin under. We want the spine to stay long so the crown of the head is still lengthening up and away. Just a couple of breaths here. As you squeeze forward, press those knees down a little more. Squeezing down towards the floor. Lovely. All right, and then coming up, let's bring the knees together. I'm going to turn so that the knees are squeezing. The hands are going to be behind us again. Shoulders squeezing back, chest is forwards. And we're just going to twist side to side. So we're taking the knees to one side, keeping the feet and the knees glued. So take a breath in. Exhale, knees come across, pull the opposite shoulder back strongly. Inhale up, exhale, knees go over, pull the opposite shoulder back. Breathe in, come up, exhale, knees go over. Breathe in, up, exhale, going over. Just two more. Inhale to center, exhale, squeeze. Inhale up and exhaling over. And then coming back up. Good. All right. So we're going to finish the class here. So let's come to a seated position. You can sit cross-legged or kneeling if you like. And we just take a moment to breathe in and out. Feeling all that work that we've done through the hips. If you want, you can also just lie down in Shavasana, corpse pose, for a few minutes as well, if you'd rather just have a rest on your back to finish. And let's just breathe in, bring the arms up, exhale, hands to the chest in prayer pose. Relax your shoulders. And thank you so much.